let me ask you this about where we're at with Hex right now, because this is, I think it was Crypto 7 who I've really enjoyed a lot of his streams lately, but something that he said the other day that I think is intriguing. There's a lot of people right now that are like the ones that are going to buy Hex to the bottom. I'm an OG no matter what. You know, it, it it's like it's okay certainly to wish for slightly lower prices to really load up and everything. But something Crypto 7 pointed out the other day that I agree with too, that people need to think about is, the lower that it goes, and this is true with a lot of assets, it's like, well, that also puts a bit of a cap on where we may go after recovery, so you don't want to lose like certain levels that become very, very hard to recover from. It's kind of like when we talk about Bitcoin, I've spoken a lot about not wanting it to really go below 10K for a long period of time or anything. I think that if we turn 10K into resistance, we could be looking at a lot longer time frame and a lot more blood, with Hex though, I mean, with anything, there's a certain rate where it's like you don't want to see it go that low because I don't know what the recovery is going to look like, and all these X's in the next bull run may just be imaginary X's. So, what are your thoughts on that? And we were talking about what you think the low will be a little bit ago. What do you think could be like the lowest of lows? I mean, do you think sub penny is likely? Let's just first off start, I guess, with the first question. Like, what do you think about the?
Well, I don't agree with the lower it goes, the harder it is to jump back. I think, especially with Hex, it hasn't gone viral yet. Everybody's pretty much heard of Bitcoin, right? It takes a lot of economic energy to move that price. Now, when it runs, it does run, but you've had a lot of institutions already buy. You've had a lot of that. With Hex, there's only maybe 300,000 or 400,000 wallets, maybe 500,000 if you count the dust sitting in some of those ones from the ZK rollups airdrop that was out there. But it doesn't take much to move it. Like we could see $1 in one candle with a, I don't know, $10 million buy, $15 million buy. It could go astronomical. People should be smart enough though not to buy against themselves, but spread it out a little bit. They don't want, you don't want to push the price against yourself too much. But again, I don't think going low, I don't even think sub penny at this point would hurt it from going to $1, $2 on the next run. I really don't. I've seen a lot of price calls being around the $5 range at the top of the next bear cycle. If it went to bull cycle, if it went to a half a penny, and I believe $5, is that a 10,000x from the next cycle again? If I do the math correctly, I think a half a penny up to $5 is another 10,000x, which is completely possible. And it's all perception, like Johnny said.
That would actually be 1,000x. That'd be 1,000.
Is it 1,000? So it would have to go to 50.
Still, that's crazy gains. Obviously.
It would have to go to $50 to be a 10,000x. So that could be pushing it a little bit. But again, Johnny said it here. Perception of value is absolutely a thing. It's all on the value that people put on it. And I really think right now you're getting you're getting dollars for 2 cents. It just, I buy every day. I buy every day at 8 o'clock. My stakes earn me more, and my stack gets bigger every day because I'm not selling them. I don't want to get rid of them. There's my dollar cost averaging every day. So.
Right. That's what brings me back to this thing of like, if you are getting shaken out at this point, what is it that has changed? Like, what concrete thing? This is what I would want to ask some of the people that are just freaking out on Twitter. And I don't know if it's like the holidays helping this. I have a feeling that could be some of it. And just that in general, in America, most people's mental health is dog shit. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah,
but
a very rough time of year right now for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, but I'm even talking on a multi-year level. I mean, like, I don't even just mean, I agree with you that this could be a tough time of year for some people, but I mean, like, just in general in America, there is a mental health, like, crisis for years on end now. The social media, I think, helps fuel a little bit. But where was I going with this? Yeah, what material thing, like, that you can touch and examine, has changed with Hex? Like, what has changed with your view of this product to make you get out of it at this point? To me, like, even though, yeah, I mean, I may be like, I might have a shred of, fear in me when I'm putting in buy orders right now. Not that I think it's going to go to zero, but that like it's going to drop another big leg down and I feel stupid for a little bit. That's basically it. But what material thing has changed? What, especially from something that's earning you yield in Hex for certain. Like, what has changed? That's what I don't get. Like, in your beliefs, do you think it's that there's, and you alluded to this a little bit earlier, do you think it's that there's other products out there, like the shiny new object syndrome or whatever? What do you think it is? Because I don't see anything with Hex that has changed.
Well, I think for the people that are getting out of Hex, I think it's because they bought in at the top and they never dollar costed back in as the price went down. They didn't lower their cost basis. They just kind of said, "Oh shit, it's going, it's going, it's going," and they think it's going to continue to go. And now they're going to cut their losses at this point. Why they would do it now is beyond me.
Yeah.
At this point, $1,000 investment probably turned into, I don't know, 30 or 40
$100.
bucks, maybe.
Yeah, less even. Yeah.
So you'd be kind of foolish at this point to unload it, unless you're going to buy back in.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Like I said, it's kind of weird at this point to give up, but there's FUD out there, like I said, and the Christmas time and people's emotions are all over the place and pretty unstable. It is a hard time of year for people. You said, overall it's been that way, but I think even the holiday season, there's always people that are reaching points of, depression or anxiety or whatever, especially even more this time of year. So who knows what could have, sent people to do it now at this point. I think it's silly myself. If you've held on for this long, you don't give up.
Yeah.
Obviously, what more is it going to hurt if it does go down another penny or two?
Worst case scenario, write it off as a total loss and don't even
Yeah,
look at it anymore.
yeah.
Just forget about it. Why sell it at this point? There's just, yeah,
And if anything, what I would do is take advantage of that. Sell what you have, buy it back, cash harvest it, and write it off on your taxes.
right.
If it was $1,000 and it's worth 40 now, you can write that off. Why not use it? Take advantage of it. Buy back in, get even a little bit more. You help yourself on your taxes. Talk to an accountant before you decide to do that. But the harvesting is not illegal in the United States as far as cryptocurrency goes right now. So
Right. Yeah.
could be a good option for you. But again, contact your accountant and talk to them first.
So another thing I wanted to ask you, just because I do sometimes watch like other Hex content creators throughout the week, and I just hear little nuggets that I think are pretty interesting. But I was listening to Crypto Coffee the other day, and this is just, I guess this isn't that important of a thing to answer, but I'm curious to have your thoughts, Ewok, as somebody who has been in Hex like since day one. Coffee was basically saying, look, even if you bought the top at this point, whenever you did get into crypto, or more specifically Hex, like if you are still here right now experiencing this, holding it, DCAing or whatever, you have the credibility at this point of an OG,
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you kind of feel that way as somebody who has been in from day one as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about your morals. It's all about,
Yeah.
if you're going to throw a bunch of FUD and things like that, you're not OG. But the people that really stand behind it and believe in what it is, make a long stake. As far as I'm concerned, people that are in and staked for at least an average of over the 5 to 7 years,
Mhm.
um, and we're buying in during the bull run or during the bear market, whatever it was. Sure. I mean, anybody in a first cycle of anything is OG. I mean, look at the people that were in that first cycle of Bitcoin. Those
Yeah.
are true OGs now, that many years later. Any of them would be, and anybody would be lucky to be buying anywhere from $1 to $30 top, at that point.
Right.
So yeah, I don't I don't think they shouldn't be considered OGs. Anybody that has made it this far and still has investments, they've earned it for sure.
I think particularly what it is, like you said morals. The word I was thinking of was like yeah, whatever. I don't remember what it was, but like, yeah, like basically character and conviction and everything. If you are able to get through, like, this is really the important time. Obviously, it's easy as hell. I mean, there's no challenge really in holding when the market's going up. You know,
Well,
I mean,
no,
the
you
challenge
could
there is not selling. I mean,
exactly. Yeah,
that's
you could
what's
throw a dartboard, throw it at a dartboard, and then pick something during those times, and it wouldn't be uh, surprising to make a little bit of money. Yes, conviction is a better word, not morals, I guess. Um, yeah, that was a bad way to put it.
well,
You
no,
don't.
I get what you mean though. You're really tested. Like it really shows your level of cojones
Yeah,
basically. Like if you're gonna
yeah,
stay in it down here at the bottom, then hey, you've got a good long-term outlook here. And